Hey folks, today I'm going to be putting together a intake and output system for my canister filter. When I bought the canister filter, it didn't have any of this with it, and looking online it's extremely expensive, so I thought we could put together this today and we'll see how it goes. I got everything pre-cut. I already dry fitted everything, but I'm going to be gluing it together. I thought I'd show you kind of the parts and how I did it. So here's my intake stem. I've already got holes drilled in the bottom. Pretty straightforward. Got a few pieces of PVC pipe cut. Need a 1/2 inch barb fitting in the thread. 90 degree. A T. 2 end caps. And this piece is probably your most important piece. It's a slip fitting with female thread. Okay, so that's the intake. Now the output, you have your spray bar. I pre-drilled that. End cap. That cool fitting we saw before, another one of those. 390s. And another one of these barb fittings. Also, I got those pre-cut as well. So I'll put it together and see how long it takes. Okay, we'll get started on this. This is the intake. So we'll put an end cap on the end. No glue, because it's inside the tank. And make sure that anything that is sitting in the water does not get glued. So that's the end cap. So it'll be standing straight up like that. 90 degree. Once again, I'm not going to do glue on that either. So we'll put one of those in. Still not going to glue it. But from here on in, I'm going to be so we're going to take our T, glue that. You can also put it on that too. I don't see the need for it really. Slip that on there. Use your drop cloth to clean up a little mess. Okay, so another one of our pre-drilled pieces. Hopefully this is getting on film. Pre-cut pieces. I just woke up. So glue there. Not going to glue the top. It's the top of our T. Clean off all the excess here. Now this is for our prime, so we'll just kind of slip that on. I'm not going to glue it. So now, got our last piece. Glue that. Don't need this much glue, but I'm just sloppy. That. Some people like to hold it together. I don't do it. So now our cool little slip female thread piece. Go here. It's really good to have a drop cloth for this kind of thing. I would have liked to do this outside, but it's going to threaten to rain here. So that's on. Hopefully you can see where we're at. So now this goes into the female thread. And this has to be done very quickly because it dries quickly. You can't fool around, got to get it in. This is probably just little insurance. You might not even need this glue on this. So you got to make sure you have what you want because you can't undo it. I think that looks pretty sturdy and awesome myself. So let that dry. Now we'll move on to the output. So this is our spray bar in the tank, no glue. There. Now if I remember how I did this, that'd be good. Alright, so we're going to do 90 this way. No glue. Okay, I think I used the long one here. No, I leave it a little long so that I can adjust it later once it's set up. Because sometimes I don't like how high it's sitting in the tank. I like to point the nozzle up a little bit so you can adjust it. So the water flow will agitate the surface instead of just going straight out. Put another 90 here. So we're starting to go out of the tank now, so we'll start gluing. I'm just going to do it once there. Another 90. Glue that. Okay, so spray bar. There we go. Hopefully everyone can see what I'm doing. Try to get that 90 degrees here. Nice and straight before it dries. Looks good. So now this down thing. Wipe off the excess. Now our cool slip and female thread there. Starting to take shape now. Now barb fitting again. Do this nice and quickly before it dries. It's already drying. There. So those are our two pieces. We'll let those dry for a few minutes, and then we'll get them hooked up to the tank. Alright, we got things set up here. I've just got it on the front of the tank because, well, I have my other filters going, so I can't put it in the normal spot. I just want to show you for a second. I had to do something similar with my Eheim filter. So I made an intake tube there. But I didn't quite do as much with the output because I had some of the parts. But let's get back to this. Now we got our primer tube here. So we're gonna be filling that with water soon. I've never tried this, so it would be new to me too. So I'll just set the camera down here and start putting things together. So this is our input. Going into the filter, so this is where it'll be hooking up. I apologize ahead of time if my ugly face gets in shot. Okay, so we'll push that on. So we got a clamp. Don't be like me and forget to put the clamp on first. And put the hose on. Done that so many times. So it's not exactly secure here, but if you have an opening and it's nice and snug, it should stay. But this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to be selling this filter anyway. So that's going into the filter. This is going out. Put the clamp on. Need to do this very tight because I'm just taking it apart anyway. Okay, so now we've got our hoses put together. I'm going to have a glass of water here. Prime this. I'll just show you what's going on with the filter here. So we got our filter. So we got our water off. At least that's what I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not used to this filter. So that we can fill up this tube. Fill it up, so that when we put it to the on position, the water's going to siphon into the filter. So now I'll just do that. Once again, I haven't done this on film before, so it might be different. My wife's not home quite, so I can be pretty sloppy with this. Sorry about that, folks. My memory card got full. But in the meantime, I got a little smarter and got my hockey bottle to fill this up. Just fill it up till it gets to the top. I don't know if you can see the water coming up here. Okay, it's full. So we put the cap back on. If you have water if water's not going up, you don't have the thing off. So now what we got to do is, I'll show you. Might be different on different canister filters, but we'll turn this to the on position. You can probably hear that. Water's rushing. A lot of bubbles coming out of the outtake. So that's a good sign. And that's just the canister's filling up now. Can't see it. See, now it's stopped, so that means the canister's full. So now I just got to plug it in and everything should go right. Now I haven't done this before I started filming, so I might look stupid, who knows. Plugging it in. Plugged in now. Just a little bit of air bubbles coming through. Seems to be running. So you know, I said before I like to have the output pointing up a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I like what it does for the surface agitation. Seems to do the trick. Now whoever buys this filter, they may want to have it a little higher out of than that, maybe right at the water level. It's probably take an inch off of it. That's why, another reason why we don't glue there, because we can adjust it. And since there's no glue, however they want to point this thing, it can rotate this way or it can rotate that way, whatever way they want to have their filter set up. Now I have it here just for demonstration, right? And that looks pretty sweet. So hopefully it helped somebody. I'm no Joey Mullen, but I like to do this type of stuff. It looks fairly similar to the Eheim. There might be a little more flow out of the Fluval. Might have to keep this filter. Alright folks, signing out.